Mop-up operations continue in Boksburg following that fatal gas tanker explosion that claimed 18 lives. Devastated families are now preparing to bury their loved ones. The truck driver who hit a low-lying bridge resulting in the explosion is expected in court tomorrow. Our reporter Manqoba Mchunu is on the ground and joins us this morning. Good morning, Manqoba. What is the very latest coming from that particular scene where you are?
Well, certainly, Mfundo, mop-up operations continuing here at the scene of this very tragic accident that happened here on over the weekend. Of course, claiming more than 15 lives. We know the number of those that have died now has gone up to 18, Mfundo, and 9 of those that lost their lives are from a hospital just meters away from here where we are, which is the Ortambo Memorial Hospital. 8 of them are nurses, and we understand that one is a driver who was also outside here at the parking bay of this particular hospital. We know that there's been extensive damage to the hospital itself. The emergency ward was affected, but also we know that some of the wards had their roofs collapsing as a result of this. And we're seeing a lot of officials here on the ground today, Mfundo. PRASA officials are here to assess the damage to the bridges just behind me. And we have been seeing them combing this particular scene and just looking at the extent of the damage that was caused here. Of course, we know, Mfundo, that at this particular point, that particular section of the road and the bridge itself has been closed to traffic, and there are barricades here. And this is because also this is now a crime scene, Mfundo, given the fact that we know that the driver has now been arrested and that he has been charged with multiple counts of negligent driving as well as culpable homicide. But Mfundo, I can tell you that here on the ground as well, we're seeing quite a number of families, we're seeing quite a number of community members, not only from here in Boksburg, but also from surrounding areas. They're just here to lay flowers and just to show their support to those families, to grieve with those families. We're seeing political parties also gathering here just to try and make sense of it all. Of course, it is an incident that sent a shockwave not only to residents here in Boksburg, but also to the country at large. We're seeing some of them praying. We're seeing, clergy coming here just to offer their words of support. But also, importantly, Mfundo, we're seeing councillors coming and, talking to some of these families. We just saw them a short while ago going on a door-to-door and knocking at these houses, wanting to speak to those that have been affected. It's still quite surreal, Mfundo, when you get here and you see the scene of devastation that is here. And one of those, people that was here over the weekend, just moments after this happened, is Janelle Smith. And I'm going to bring her in now, Mfundo. Janelle, you were telling me that this is the 3rd time now in a row that you're coming here. But of course, you were here on that day, just moments after this happened. What happened?
It's hard, so it's difficult to explain. We were here moments after it happened. The amount of people lying around, the amount of people running around. What you see here is just a small part of this whole tragedy. People lying, communities running around, assisting with water, family members looking for their people, medics running around, fire brigades. It's unbelievable to think that this can cause so much heartache, so much sore. Small children, I've got a 3-year-old myself, and the damage, the sore that those kids have, the lifeless bodies lying around. It's something like this happens overseas. You see this in movies. For us that was here moments later, it felt like a movie because my brain is still too small to understand that something so neglect can cause so much damage and so much heartache to so many people in such a community.
You're telling me that for you, coming here is a sort of healing because you're coming back here, you're still trying to make sense of what happened here.
It's a source of healing. We were here. It's like you see where the people were walking here. It's like if you won't get peace like 100%, but you get that peace of that there was a life once, but that life is in a safer place. Just to know that once ago or moments ago, that girl or that boy was still walking. A man was talking to someone on a phone. His phone lying next to him, no more. It's sort of healing to know that you were here and that you tried to help wherever you could.
Well, I guess the important thing is that, will you ever be able to get over what you saw here? Have you been provided any counseling? Do you need counseling? Have you spoken to any of the families to offer them their condolences and to say, we were here trying as well to ensure that your loved ones, we save their lives?
This is one thing that you'll never, ever in my whole life, I will not forget it. I think my mom feels the same. This is the thing you won't forget. Yes, there were some of the family members that we did speak to. There were people running to us. I assisted a lady that was looking for a son. I'm not 100% sure if one of them have passed away. I'm not sure. I haven't been in contact with her because her phone is off. We haven't spoken to counsellors yet, but I must say, at night when you go to sleep, you close your eyes, you can still see it, you can still hear it. People will think you're funny, but you can still smell every single thing that happened around you on Saturday.
Okay. No, thank you for sharing your story with us. Of course, that was just one of the people that was here who saw the tragedy that unfolded here. And it's still surreal to them as well. Those who were here on the day saying that they still can't get over what they saw, Mfundo. They still can't get over, the tragedy that unfolded here on this particular street. And we know, of course, that there are still mop-up operations continuing. We know that the Department of Infrastructure Development as well as Human Settlement, the MEC, Lebogang Maile, will also be here in about an hour's time just to assess some of the structural damage that have been caused to this particular hospital. Of course, we know that officials have been here over the weekend assessing the situation. Is going to give a preliminary report of the damage, the scale of the damage that took place here over the weekend, and just whether or not it would affect operations here at the hospital. We know, of course, that at the time there were about 321 patients at the hospital. 37 of them, were affected. In fact, there were 24 of them that were affected, that were severely burnt, as well as 13 nurses at this hospital that were also severely burnt, and 8 of them has since died as a result of that incident. So we're going to hear from the MEC as far as their investigation is concerned into this tragedy.
All right, Manqoba, we'll leave it there for now. That's reporter Manqoba Mchunu out in Boksburg this morning for us. Now, the